Intelligence. Standardized tests, to estimate what you know. High-stakes tests, tests about selection and prediction. Advanced placement tests, how much math or physics you know. Tests predict success better than grade. What is intelligence? Ability to solve problems. Understand and learn complete material. Adapt to the environment. Mental quickness. Experiment. You need a dependent variable, something to measure. And an independent variable, something that vary. But studies of intelligence are correlational, rarely experimental, which make them subject to interpretation. History of SAT. In early 1900s, the people who have more money were the one who got into the best colleges. So, they created the SAT, to make a test that was fair for everybody, to admit people on their merit, rather than small social connectivity networks. History of IQ tests. France 1904 to 1911, everyone needs to go to school. But some kids might need some extra help. So, Alfred Binet developed a set of tests that probed abilities, like copying a drawing, repeating digits, recognize coins, etc. And if a child did terrible at some aspect, the teacher could know about this deficit and help him get through it. Nowadays, IQ tests contains vocabulary, define words, similarities, arithmetic, simple operations, digit span, how many digits can you remember, information, general knowledge, comprehension, why some things happen, and performance subtest, nonverbal, picture completion, digit symbol coding, block design, rearrange blocks into various geometric design, matrix reasoning, picture arrangement. And they measure how accurately and quickly you do these things. The average IQ in USA is 100. A standard deviation equals 15 points. 2% of people have plus 130 IQ. Below 70 is big problems. Reliability and validity. Reliable, same score on 2 occasions. Valid, measure what it's supposed to measure. IQ correlated with GPA in high school and college, job success, salary, stable marriages, staying out of jail, longevity. But also, personality, education, and culture made a lot. IQ is about 25% of your total success in life. On average, higher IQ equals better salary. On average, higher IQ equals less chance to have illegitimate children. Flynn effect, IQ scores are always going up, the world is getting smart by raw IQ tests. Raven's progressive matrices, IQs go up about 3 points every 10 years. And what mostly are the gains, are related to abstract thinking, like similarities. But what's really in the test, what's valued by each society or culture, and the norming this are really influencing a lot of how you get your IQ. Psychometric analysis of subtests. They give you the scatter of tests. For any individual, there's correlations among the tests. Spearman gave this correlation the name. G. General intelligence. S. Specific intelligence. Fluid intelligence, novel problem solving, declines with age, from 20 to 80 goes down. Crystallized intelligence, facts and information you know, increases with age. The plus you live longer is that you know more stuff, the risk of living longer is you don't use it as flexibility under novel situations. Emotional intelligence, and multiple intelligences, are nonsense. Mental and neural mechanisms. Mental speed, quickness of thought, being fast is a useful thing for acting on the world. Working memory, how much information can you store at the same time? Dorsolateral prefrontal cortex is involved in thinking. IQ tests give the best prediction of your performance on other specific individual tests. And when you solve these tests, the frontal cortex gets highly activated. Parietal cortex medium activation. Thinking is tied to prefrontal cortical function. What happens when you turn on your G? The spatial and verbal prefrontal cortex gets activated. Dorsolateral prefrontal cortex. When people get really good at something, they use less of their brain, because they do it efficiently. And when people do n back task, the people with lower IQ have much more activation than the people with higher IQ. But it is due to your genes or your environment. SNPs, single nucleotide polymorphisms, are DNA variations. At least 1% of the population. They're about 90% of human genetic variation. Constant from generation to generation. Then, people studied these variations and related them to performance. They studied one gene related to the enzyme catechol-O-methyltransferase, COMT, which modulates dopamine function in the prefrontal cortex. And also, it's a risk factor for schizophrenia. And if you have the good version of this pairing of genes, your performance on demanding tasks goes up. Height is around 90% heritable in US. Identical or monozygotic twins, same egg and sperm. Fraternal or dizygotic twins, different egg and sperm. Identical twins reared apart have 70.7 correlation between IQ scores, same genes. Identical twins reared together have 90.9 correlation between IQ scores, same genes plus environment. We think is about 50% genes and 50% environment. Environmental influences. 1. Breastfeeding. Breastfeeding for at least 6 months correlated with 7-point IQ gain. But maybe it's not due to milk, it's due to the mother spent more time with the kid, type of mothering, etc. 2. Birth weight. 2 to 2.5 kilograms, 95 IQ. 2.5 to 3, 98 IQ. 3 to 3.5, 100 IQ. 3.5 to 4, 102 IQ. 4 to 4.5, 103 IQ. Dash 4.5, 104 IQ. But it could be due to the environment during pregnancy, low economic environment, etc. 3. Birth order and family size. First kid 103 IQ. Second kid 100 IQ. Third kid 99 IQ. So, younger siblings have few lower IQ points on average. And if the firstborn dies early, the secondborn get the same IQ as the firstborn should had, and so on. In larger families, if the family has 9 kids, the 9th kid would have the lowest IQ, and so on. But it could be because of this. Firstborn is exposed to both parents. Secondborn, exposed to parents Y firstborn. Thirdborn, to first and secondborn, and so on. Because is a more educational environment when both of the parents pay attention to only one child. Early exposure to language. If the parents spoke to their kids for at least 1 hour per day since they were born about useful things, their IQ goes up at the time they're 9 to 10. Where the kids with better SES have a larger vocabulary. Also, by the time you're 9 to 10 your IQ stop increasing. If you're 100 IQ at 10, you'll tend to be 100 for the rest of your life. Race has nothing to do with IQ, it's just a matter of environmental effect. Stereotype threat. 2 groups. One of black people and one of white people. If you give them a test that's a laboratory experiment, but it's an SAT type of tests. Both groups have equal scores. But if the test says test of intelligence, black people have a worse performance. Which means that in US there's a stereotype that African Americans aren't good academically. And once that thought gets into your mind, I'm doing something that some people say I'm not good at it, it makes you underperform compared to your true potential. This also occurred with the old stereotype of women are bad at mathematics. But nowadays this has changed, now women outperform men in a lot of areas, just because they're cultural inventions. Then, if you ask African American to write an essay about the most important values related to education at the beginning of the course, at the end they performed a 40% better than if they haven't done the essay. Which means how much stereotypes and a good attitude to overcome those stereotypes influences your performance. Also, if you write your thoughts and feeling before you do a test, or something when you feel pressure or anxiety, you will perform a little bit better than if you don't write them down before you do the test. Talent vs growth. People who think that they get better at anything if they work harder, they actually get better. But people who say they can't get better, they get stuck at the same place at the beginning. Perry Preschool Study. People assigned kids with low SE to 2 different groups. First group was a program group, who received high-quality preschool program and a lot of help. And second group was no program group, who received no preschool program. Then, they look at them by age. 3 to 11, 14 to 15, 19, 27, 40. From 1 to 7 their IQ was separated. But by the age of 7, their IQ was the same. Because they leave the program after 1 year when the program was done. So, people started claiming that the schools were useless. Because once they get back into schools that are not very supportive, the benefits of the program disappear. And unless you fix everything in their lives, the program doesn't change anything at the long run. But at 40 they have less arrests, 36 and 55%. At 40 they win more money, 60 and 40%. More people completed high school, 65 and 45%. Higher basic achievement at 14. 49 and 15%. More willing to do their homework at 15. 61% and 38%. That 1 year of preschool changed these kids for the rest of their lives, on average. And IQ in this case doesn't capture it at all, there's something else in them that changed, that made them more resilient in life and successful in the long run. Current view. Bodily response that happens pretty fast plus interpretation equals subjective experience. Are emotions inborn? Yes. Even kids who born deaf or blind, display the same kind of emotions without being able to see or hear the expressions. Are emotions universal? There are 6 universal basic emotions: happy, sad, fear, anger, surprise, disgust. When Westerners look at faces of non-Westerner, it's harder to them to identify what facial expressions they're seeing, and vice versa. Innate plus universal plus culture overlay. Visual cliff. A baby has to walk into a box, it seems there's a fall, but in reality, there's a layer of plexiglass which makes the effect of a cliff. At the other end is his mother. If the mother shows a happy expression, the baby will keep walking, 74%. If the mother shows a fear expression, the baby will stand still, 100%. Why emotions are the way they're. If you have a fearful expression, you have a wider field of view, because you want to know what's around you. If you have a disgust, you have a smaller view and shrink nose, you want to see and smell the least amount you can, and so on. So, emotions exaggerate or diminish forms of sensory input that are relevant for the emotion. Brain basis of emotions. Amygdala equals fear. Sitting in front of the hippocampus, core elements of the limbic system, made out of nuclei, each one with specific roles. Monkeys with amygdala lesions get in big troubles because they don't know who they should be afraid to, and lose their position in his dominance hierarchy.